cedar, looks a little nicer, fits the bathroom decor better. So we'll just do that. I'm gonna have 3 cubbies, and then the top one's gonna kind of be open on the side. Basically what we're making, a toilet paper holder for your bathroom to sit by your sink. And my toilet paper is about 4 by 4.5 roughly. This stuff is 7/8. And I like working with 3/4 material. So that means I can only have 1 pass on either side to clean it up, but I might have to go down a 1/2 inch, which isn't the end of the world. So we'll do that. I don't know how high it's gonna be yet. I'm gonna wait till I get this one cleaned up. I got scraps from another project if I have to fill in a couple pieces. That's all right. And there's a couple big knots in this one here. And I wanted to do 6 wide, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get away with that.
No.
And the size of the shells is gonna kind of dictate what we can get out of all this, right? I was aiming for 6. But if we end up with like, I don't know, 5 3/4 or something, which 5 3/4 would work because I can do both sides of this. 5 no, I can't, can I? 5.5, 5.5 is 11. Yeah, okay, so 5 3/4, I can't do both of this because I'd be 11.5, and this is right on 11.5. And if I did 5.5, I could definitely get away with that. As far as clean up anyway. So maybe 5.5 inch wide. Height doesn't matter too much. I'm just thinking the shelf size itself. But we're gonna get this cleaned up and then we'll figure all that out after. So that turned out all right. Thickness, I think was something like 5/8 or something like that. I think we were just above 1/2. Yep, 5/8, or no, actually, 11. Yeah, 11/16. That's okay. Down to about 11. Looks a lot cleaner, looks a lot better. So, cubby sizes. I think I'm at 10, 11 and 1/8. But I'm gonna have to cut off a bunch of this as far as, you know, the ends. Well, these ends, this crap here. I wanna get rid of that.
Well, get rid of it!
What do I want? Probably 6, right? 1/2 inch, 6, 13, 13, 19. And then I want the top to be, these are 6, I think I want the top to be 7. So that'll bring us to 27.5, so just over 2 feet. So 1, 2, 3, toilet paper. Okay, we're gonna cut this out, and I like the knot. I don't think it goes, yeah, it goes all the way through, I think. Okay, so there we go. So we're gonna cut that off, cut that at the top. We're gonna have one as our bottom piece. Shelf, should be 6 inches between each of these. So I guess depth doesn't matter, and the depth is what we're gonna be cutting out of this. And if that's that, then I can go 5.5.
You sure about that?
Yeah, we're gonna call it 5.5.
You sure about that?
So at the width of the blade, that should bring me right to the edge. So we're gonna have some of the ugly stuff like this, but we'll trim off enough of it. Ooh, except for that back there. What have we got back here? Oh, shit. All right, 5 1/4. We're gonna go 5 1/4. Width of the blade is just over 1/16. Quarter, 10. That'll bring us to about 10 and 5/8, and that should cut out enough of that we can hide it, I guess. Yeah, I might have to substitute a piece. I don't think I'm gonna get it all out of this, but anyway, I'm gonna cut that down. I'll get the shelves cut out of this for what I can, which I should be able to get maybe 3 out of that. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one of these is going to be shorter too because we're open here, right? So I need this full back here, which is, what was it, 27.5? Yeah, 27.5. So I guess from the bottom of that to that should be 20. Now I kind of want that shelf piece to overlap that, so it would be 19.5. 19.5. Yeah, because that'll sit over top of that just to cover up that end grain. That's going to sit on top of that, so I got to remember to make this shelf bigger. And then we're going to forge a hook that's going to go right in here to hold our ship tickets. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down to width, down to length, and then I'm going to try to see what I can get out of these shelves. Out of this 4 shelves, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if I'm going to pocket hole these. If anything, I might put like one kind of like on either side. Well, I'll explain that when I get to that. Okay, so I got these clamped up so I can get my final 2 measurements. I think this one here was, yeah, this one's 7 5/8, 6 15/16. And that holds everything together nicely. These came out to 6 1/4. So 6 1/4 by 5 1/4, I think is what it was. Yep, 5 1/4. And that's a good little cubby size, actually. I don't mind that. So with the pocket holes, I think what I want to do is, I don't want to fill this thing with them because it doesn't really need it. You know what I mean? It's so small. It doesn't need a lot. It's going to have a bit of glue. But I'm thinking put one, not right in the middle so I can kind of pivot. But I'm thinking if I put one here and one here, that'll keep it from turning. And that'll be enough to still suck it tight. And I thought I'll brad nail it from the outside, but I don't know if I will. I think this one here, I might put 2 into here and then maybe sink, like, I don't know, 2 brad nails into there. Or just 1 in the middle, 2 brad nails. This one sits right on top, and this will just get brad nailed on there. And then our little hook is just going to get attached right here. And that'll come out, hold your toilet paper roll, and this should be everything. Simple build, anyway. I was able to get it all out of that wood. I didn't have to go all out of that piece anyway. Alright, we'll sand it down and drill some holes. Get that lined up. We got 1-inch screws. We'll set this for 3/4. Actually, no, set it for 1/2 inch, not 3/4, because our wood is under 3/4. So we'll set it for 1/2 inch. And then we'll get all that drilled up. Get our hook made. Get it put together. I don't know what kind of stain I want to put on it. I'm thinking maybe just an oil. You know what I mean? Maybe just put tung oil on it. Something to give it a bit of protection, but it's not going to need a lot. I mean, it's cedar. It already handles moisture well enough. So I think we're just going to wipe it down with, yeah, not tung oil. Do I want tung oil or boiled linseed oil? Alright, let's just do boiled linseed oil. Okay, I'm going to lay this out. I got all my boards in the right spots. I'm not drilling holes that don't need to be drilled. I think I want, that is the bottom. That is the top, because it's a nice clear piece right there. So we're gonna have to brad nail this. That board, I was hoping the planer would have taken it out. Had a bit of a cup in it. And that's making it so I can't keep everything flat. And also, I should have put 2 screws into this to pull the front and the back tight. Alright, so brad nails in it. Tighten up the edges. That'll be alright. It's not the end of the world. I should have just put 2, honestly, like I was saying. Because what happened is this side opens up or that side opens up when I could have just pulled the whole thing tight.
Anyway, I started blasting.
And I'm just trying to find scraps I want to use for this. The scrap pile provides. It's just, where is it? That'll work. Alright, so we got our hook all made up. I'm just gonna attach it just with a screw. I just need a screw that's not that long. This is the hard part right now. Can't find a screw that fits. Make a screw that fits, right?
Sure.
Now where do we want this to go? That'll sit on there just like so. Yeah, I'd imagine somewhere near the top, right? 5 1/4, 2 5/8. That's roughly centered. All right, let's get the top put on that. A little bit of sanding left to do, just tidy some stuff up. Oil it, and that's it. Yeah, well, that's not too bad. Be a nice little piece. Put it beside your toilet. We're gonna get this tidied up. I ended up having to put brad nails in it after all because the wood was cupped a bit and it was actually pulling away where the screws weren't. And honestly, I should have put screws on both sides. Like I should have put them here and here as well. But that's 4 per, and that's a bit much. For what this is and how much weight thing's gonna hold, it really didn't need that. And you know what? The brad nails, it's so dark and everything, you can barely even see it.
I'm kind of a perfectionist.
And if you can see it, well, don't look at it. But I think that's pretty nice. I'm rather happy with how that turned out. Fairly clear too, not too many knots. But yeah, another fun little build. Got to play in the forge. Got to use up some old cedar scraps. Not bad at all. And not to mention it's held together with some waterproof glue, so nothing's gonna move. So yeah, I'll tidy all this up. And yeah, carry on to the next project. See you later.